Hello friends, today's video we are going to learn how to make a very simple prong. I'm gonna make this prong in sterling silver. You can mount it on a ring. So let's start the process how we can make small sterling silver prong for stone. So I picked this green stone to make our prong. It's a nice color, nice synthetic stone. So what we are going to do, we are just going to check the size of the stone. And I got like a millimeter gauge, and we calibrate to kind of zero. All right, let's try to find the size of the stone. All right, I'm gonna do it this way. This is like 6.58. It's like about 1 carat stone. The most important thing is we have to find the thickness of the stone like this way. That is very important to make a bezel. Right now the stone is like 3.92, but we are going to make a little bit a larger prong, like I would say 6 or maybe 7 millimeter tall, like this. I hope you can see from the side. We are going to make like kind of a longer prong. We always can cut from the top if the prong is too if the setting is too long. Why it is so important to make the setting for the stone is a little bit longer? The reason is that, let me find my pen, that if we have a stone like this and we are going to make a setting like kind of V shape. So the bottom of the stone don't touch the metal where we gonna set the stone, and like this, and we're gonna make like a 4 prong setting. So that's why we need a little bit longer metal when we're going to bend it, like when we're gonna make it round from the top. So it's gonna look like this, and we're gonna make some grooves to put the prongs over. All right, I picked this metal, sterling silver plate, not too thick and not too thin. This is about, I would say, like 0.83 or 0.85. So we say we're gonna make a prong about 7, yeah, about like 7 millimeter wide. Lock it, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mark on the plate right here. And the next step is to cut with the saw blade all the way right here, and then we make it fold over. All right, let's start cutting. I'm just following the line where I mark about like 7 millimeter. And sometimes it's very useful to use a beeswax on your saw blade. So the beeswax usually make it very easy to cut the metal, so you don't have to struggle too much. I use some more beeswax. I'm still following the same line. All right, we got it. That's all we need. So how the stone gonna look on the side is this. Let me hold the stone like kind of this way, out of focus. Yeah, it's gonna sit right here up high. All right, next step is to anneal the metal. To annealing the metal is so we can make it like a little bit more softer, so we can make it round or bend it very easy. Let's do the second process. I'm gonna use a little bit bigger tip. This one is 4, and I got a 6, number 6 tip. It is a little bit larger tip to anneal the metal. All right, let's torch it. All right, very soft flame. I'm gonna turn the light off so I can see the color. You can't tell in the video, but it has to be like kind of light reddish. That's all. You just keep moving your hand like this so it don't melt. I can see kind of reddish right here. It means that is annealing. All right. What we're gonna do, we're gonna let it cool down for a few seconds or few minutes, and after that we're gonna start rolling, make it round for a prong. All right, see you guys in a second. Okay, it's been about like few minutes now. The metal is completely cold. The next step is get like a round nose plier like this one. I have couple of this one, and this one is like kind of very fine. It's a really small on this side. I am gonna use this one because the stone is like kind of big, and this radius is a little bit smaller. There are like various kind. So let's start bending. I'm gonna start from very end of the metal like this and start twisting around like this. Just trying to make like kind of round shape to it. Trying to show it really small. All right. Now I got a tweezer. What is my good tweezer? Yeah, this is my tweezer. Nice tweezer right there. I am going to put the stone on the top. Hmm. What we are trying to achieve is the radius of the bezel should be a little bit larger than a stone. Just say, just say this one is a metal and the stone should fit kind of inside. This is a stone right here. So that's what we are trying to do. But right now, look like my stone is a big, and the radius I made, the tube I made is like kind of small. Okay, no problem, because my plier is small. So I have to make it like a little bigger, large, like this, and opened up. Yeah, it's opened up. This is the most critical time consuming thing. Okay, now it look like kind of big, which is look perfect. I can see the metal around right here. Move the stone, make sure it's like kind of straight. uh, I can mark right here where I am going to cut the metal straight like this. Now next step is cut the metal, a tube or prong, so we can bring it together like this and solder it. Always use beeswax. I'm gonna hold it like this way, so I can see and have a better hold. Start cutting right on the line. All right. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. All right. Like kind of round tube. It's like kind of uneven right now. So what we're gonna do is like bring it together and flush the seam. Let's try a plier. I can use this plier right here. Yeah, it's like kind of uneven. What I mean, to solder, if I see this way, the metal is like kind of like this, which is not good. We have to have very straight seam. Two metals joining together straight. So when we solder, the solder flow evenly. This gap, we don't need this right here. But right now, because I was holding kind of weird way, so I got a little offline. So what I have to do is like cut a couple of times to make it like straight. The best way is to hold your hand very carefully right on the edge right here, so if you slip you don't cut your hand. Do a little bit and close it like this. All right, I still got a little bit gap right here, so we have to remove this one. What I'm going to do is like repeat the process. Watch your hand with the saw blade. Always use this edge to stop your blade so it don't cut your finger like that. So Perfect. It's so tight, I cannot take my blade off. Ah, if I can show in the camera, yeah, there is no line. There's a little bit tiny line, so I have to close this with a plier. One more time. All right, there's no room, no gap. We easily can flush the solder. Don't worry about if this is not round right now. We're gonna use a different tool to make it round the same way. At least we can see our stone fit in there. Oops, it's hard to do this work while I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, you can see the metal around. Okay, so let's do the second process is to solder. That's where we are going to solder right up here. So I am going to use, I have a easy solder and a medium solder. I think it's the best way, best thing is to use sterling silver, a medium solder. Uh, I have some other pieces of solder. I'm gonna cut a fresh solder. All right, let's try to solder this. Make sure you use some flux. All right, this one is soldered. If we can see in the camera, it's like soldered, pretty good. Let it cool down. I usually dip in the water if I'm rushing it. If not, then we can let it sit for a few minutes. Next step is to make it kind of V-shape. So I ordered a special tool for that. Let's start working on that one. See how we can make it like kind of V-shape. All right, in this step, what we are going to use this tool right here to make a bezel prong a little bit more V-shape. What we are trying to achieve is if this is our bezel or prong, we need to make like kind of V-shape like this one. Smaller at the bottom and kind of perfect round on the top. So this tool gonna help me to achieve both goals. So it's like kind of judgment where we need to put. We don't need to insert in this one, maybe not this right here, or this one. Look kind of good. I have to make sure that I don't tap it too hard or I can break the prong on the top. Just a little bit at a time. It's getting round. I put the second one. Make sure it's straight. And this one. I'll put in this one. Hopefully you can see in the camera. Getting a little V shape. Now I have a flat hammer. I'll try to tap it. I checked one more time the shape of it. It kind of V shape. Perfect. Put the small one. All right, I think it's done. All right, remove this guy on the side. Now at this point, we have two different shape of bezels or prongs, what I can say. One is like this, we can use as it is. This is going to be, if we use as it is, this gonna be like a bezel setting or flush setting. You can use a prong like this, or we can make a cuts on the side right here, 4 cuts to make kind of prong looking setting. If you want to use this way, so what we have to do, a burr like 45-degree, we have to cut inside the seats like this one, like that, and set the stone and bend the metal over. That is one kind of bezel which is very commonly used, but what we are trying to do, what we are trying to make is like a 4-prong setting. So this one is like almost, you know, to the point, to the shape. So let's do the second process, what we need to do. To make a 4 prongs, we have to mark it 4 sides like this, kind of even. Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do. Mark 4 points. Very closely, even. And on the side, we're going to cut. Like this one right here. Sometimes the markers don't work the way we like to do. I hold a prong or setting. You have 4 evenly spaced markings. So our next step is going to be cut on the side. All right, at this my point, the prong look okay, kind of V shape. Now what I need to do is a cut like 4 cuts like that all the way around. So it look like kind of prong. So I am gonna use the cutting disc and my Dremel. But because it's very hard to hold this prong in hand, so what I have, a disc tool is kind of was handheld was, so I'm gonna secure my prong in this one, so it's very easy for me to cut it. So let's try to make a cut. That's one. The second one is gonna be same. Just secure my prong in this one. Have to make sure that it's right length of it. Try to shave it from the side. Let's try to do the third one. Okay, same length. the last one. Let's try this way. Yeah, all four of them are like kind of same length, which is good. Sometime you can eyeball, or sometime you can measure it like this. They're all same. Small right there. A little larger. Also at the bottom of the prong, I need to be kind of flat because it's like kind of wavy, like when we hammered it. Let's try if I hold it right here. Nope, can't hold it. At the same time, I have to show it on camera. Just a little bit at a time. Okay, if not, what I can do, I can hold it like half round plier and one side is flat. So round, I will hold it inside so the prongs don't get damaged. Secure it like this. I think it's better. Yep, it's working much better. You have to try different ways, which one gonna work better. Most of the time I do eyeball. And sometimes you can mark and see which ones work better for you. Um, to me, it's look kind of flat right now. I'm eyeballing it. Uh, Pretty good. Now I can set, if I do like this way, put on a flat surface, I can see if the prong is look straight like this all the way around. To me it looked pretty straight. On the top it looked okay. And if I need to make a little bit more V shape, I can do that too. Should I do more V shape or not? Or it should be like this? I don't know. I have to decide. Kind of flat at the bottom. And on the top, Maybe a little bit more to V shape. Hmm. Let's find a file. This file is like triangle file. Let's try this one if it's gonna work or not. I need a little bit more V shape to it. So back to this one. Oops. I'm trying to keep it in front of a camera too at the same time when I'm trying to tighten this up so you can see what I'm doing. All right. Secure. V shape file and much better. Let's go on the other side. This one. I will compare both sides. This one and this one looks similar. Yeah, looks similar. Just a little bit more adjust to it. Make sure that when you are filing, your filing is very perpendicular to the your setting, not like sideways like this. Go straight, so the prongs get cut straight. The third one. Okay, come on. Come on. All right. Nope. Secure it. And same thing. If you like a little more V shape, you can get a bigger file. This is like kind of very small file. You can get the bigger one, so it's gonna give like wider shape on prongs. I just want to make sure it matches this one and it matches that one. Let's try the last one. Last one is right here. Come on, right there. Secure it, and we'll see next. Okay, this one matches this one. Yeah, they all look almost same. Yeah, from the top, I see this one is the smallest one, and these are a little large. This is the largest one. So what I have to do to file this one a little more. So the prong looks even from the top. Mm, okay, let's try a flat file. Okay, now it's like kind of even. This one need to be worked a little bit. Yeah, that's the one right here. I should have marked. There is a way you, sorry, you pre-mark these prongs on the top. It's just an idea. Now I need to straighten this up. It's like kind of wave. What I can do is I can use this ascending disc. All the way. Now the other sides, I can do the same thing. If I can show it really close to the camera, what we did so far. It's almost ready. Yeah, stone gonna look good. Not bad. Prong is almost ready. So our next step gonna be make a simple band and solder this prong on the band. Once the prong is soldered on the band, we can cut the seats right here all the way and put the stone and bend the prong over. Also, later on, maybe we can make some design. I don't know. See how it goes. As you work along, you get some ideas, when you're making stuff by hand, you get ideas. Hey, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to fix this right here. That's handmade jewelry. So next video, I'm gonna solder this on the band. At this point, our prong is almost done. What I can do is like a polish and try to mount on a ring to get the better idea how it's gonna look on the ring. So let's try the polish first. Yeah, once the prong is mounted on the ring, it is much easier to polish compared to holding like this in a hand. But our project is basically how to make a prong, so that's why I'm trying to do like this way. Just a little bit at a time, don't rush. If not, then it's gonna fly off from your head. This is small buffer you can buy from various shops, like in jewelry supply shops. You can buy that, and it works fine. I do have a big buffer where I usually use for everything, but because this is like a project, you can do it right on your table. So that's why I'm using handheld buffer. This is like a sanding disc. If you reverse it like this, that's what I have learned a technique. Like if you reverse it and use it as a buffer, and we can polish inside walls. Just give a little shine. It required a lot of rouge. What we're gonna do, we just polish all the walls of the prongs inside. I hope you can see in the camera, it's so small. And now on this way, let's see if I can hold it right. Okay, our next step is polish the prong from inside. This is also a brush where you can polish inside of the prong. It got a little bit rouge on it. What I'm going to do next is clean it. You can clean with a clean water and a soap, but I am gonna let it sit in ultrasonic for a few minutes and come back. I made a very simple sterling silver band, and what we are going to do, we're gonna mount our prong right on the top like this and try to solder it. When we are mounting our prong on the ring, we have to make sure that it is like kind of aligned, not like kind of offset. The prongs matches on both directions like very similar way. So we have a very special tool like this which gonna hold a ring and the prong at the same time, and it will help us to solder the ring and the prong or the setting on the top. I'm just looking to see if it's straight. You have to see from the side way, and sometimes you have to see from this way and this way. Okay, this one look better on this side, and yeah, at this point just keep checking till you don't feel comfortable and sure that it's gonna look. So when you're comfortable that it look even from all directions, what we are going to do next is just a solder. I am going to place it right here like this way and get like some easy sterling silver solder. This easy sterling silver solder. Get your torch ready. At this point, our prong is all set. What I did a couple of solders, one right here and one right on this side, so it looked okay and secure. Um, Most important thing when we are setting this kind of setting on the ring, we have to see if these lines matches this way and these are straight, and on the side is also kind of straight to the shank. And this is the few little things we have to watch when we are making a prong and when we are soldering on the band. Hope you like it. Well, thank you very much if you watched the video so far. Next step, we'll try to set the stone. What I am going to use, I will use this burr, which is, I think it's a really good burr for this kind of stone to set this prong. The first of all, what we have to do, see how far the stone gonna drop right here. When we are setting stone, we have to make sure that the stone is like kind of level all four sides, and then we are going to cut the seat. Also, it's good to examine the stone girdle, how thick it is. It's a pretty thick girdle on that one, as you can see on the side right here. Most of the time, the color stone have nice thick girdle. So what I like to do, just to reference it, I usually don't use this. I just eyeball, but I think the stone gonna drop this low right here, and I'm gonna make kind of line all four prongs. So when I'm using a burr, I'm gonna go follow this line to cut the seats. I'm just putting the line right here. So when I set the stone, it's gonna be level, all four corners. So we put this line right here, this one, all four prongs. Hope you can see. I can see in my glasses. Hope it's showing in the camera. The next step is to hold a ring kind of secure. My habit is I hold my ring like this, really secure. But some people use different devices to set the stone, like this one right here. I just ordered this not too long ago. Some people use this device, and if you don't have this one or don't like to use, then you can use this big wooden device. This is really kind of good, easy to hold, and cheap. I show you how to set the ring in this mounting. One second, let me set the camera. In this wooden device, you have both side. One is like kind of round and one is kind of flat. So we can use a round side To hold a ring, all I have to do is hold it like this way, and it comes with this wooden edge. We slide it on the back. Either you can hammer it, or I can do it the other way. Now the ring is pretty secure, so I can hold a ring like this and use burr inside to set the stone. As you can see, I just cut the seat right here, right on this side, and I have to do same thing on this side. When you're cutting the seat, make sure your burr is kind of very straight like this, and not kind of crooked or different angles. It has to be very straight when you're cutting the seat. If not, then the stone is going to sit kind of like crooked. So I'm holding my hand very straight, but in the camera, I don't know, it looked kind of awkward. All right, the last one. I'm just examining if they all look same depth. Now I'm gonna clean up a little bit. Brush is pretty dirty. I drop the stone, and what we have to do now is push the prongs inward, like this way and this way. I can use this one or any flat nose plier. I hope you can see the camera what I'm doing. Not too quick, real easy. And at this point, we can examine if the stone is straight or not. To me, so far it look very straight. So we're gonna keep proceeding. Okay, this one, I'm just eyeballing right now. The next step, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna buff this extra two long prongs right here, and then buff on the side like this to make it a little bit weaker, so we try to bend it over the stone so they don't just like stick up right here. Let me set the camera and different angles and we go from there. That's a funny thing. I have to look into the camera if it's recording or not. When I was soldering a prong over the ring, I think I did not record it. I thought I pushed the button, but it was not recording. That's funny because I was showing that how to solder prong over the band, but you guys got the idea. But if already done the step, there is no way I can unsolder it and resolder it. So sorry about that. I think you guys got the idea. Just a little bit of a time, no rush at this point. I'm keeping an eye if all these levels, the height of the prongs are same. At this point, I'm gonna look around if they're all flat. Now I am going to just go around the prong to make it a little bit weak so I can bend these prongs over the stone. I think I need to focus it. Come on, focus it. I am going my file like this way, not straight, so it curve with the stone. With the graver, I just try to smooth inside of the prongs. You have to be very careful with the color stones. They are so fragile. But if you're setting the diamond, then it's like a little bit less stress because diamond can take a lot of pressure. They don't scratch. All right. Now I am going to use this green soft buffer. This is like for polishing the metal and smoothing out. And good thing is it don't scratch the stone. Yeah, this buffer is not going to hurt the stone. I'm just checking if it's not kind of pointy edge somewhere, like kind of sharp edge. You can check with your finger. All right, I'm gonna take it out. The stone is done. If you like, we can polish a little bit more, the final polish, and put in ultrasonic, and the ring is done. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any suggestions or comment, just leave a comment and how you like it, or if you like any other videos like this, just let me know. Till then, guys, you all take care and keep making a jewelry. Bye bye.